Some games are just basketball, and then there are nights that become myth. February 8th, 1998, Madison Square Garden. One stage, two generations. Michael Jordan, the undisputed king of basketball. Kobe Bryant, the fearless kid who dared to challenge him. This wasn't just an all-star game. It was a torch passed through fire. A moment when greatness looked itself in the mirror and saw the future staring back. This is the story of the day Michael Jordan showed Kobe Bryant who's the boss. Scene 1. The Mecca of basketball. Madison Square Garden. The Mecca, the heart of basketball's mythology. On February 8th, 1998, it became something more. A stage for history's most poetic duel. On one end stood the greatest to ever do it. Michael Jordan, 35 years old, 5 championships deep at the peak of his myth. On the other, a 19-year-old kid, Kobe Bean Bryant, too young to drink, too fearless to care. For everyone watching, this wasn't just an all-star game. It was the day the past and the future met on the same court. Jordan was rumored to be nearing retirement. Kobe was barely 2 years removed from high school. One represented basketball's perfection, the other, its evolution, and Madison Square Garden was ready for a show. Scene 2. Opening moments. The crowd buzzed with energy that felt different. No team jerseys, no rivalries, just 24 of the best players on earth sharing one court. But everyone in that building knew. All eyes were on 2 players. Jordan opened the night with that signature move. A head fake, a pivot, a jumper over Kevin Garnett. Bucket, smooth, calm, effortless. The commentators couldn't help but laugh. So much for being sick, one said. Jordan had caught a flu before the game, but the moment he stepped onto the floor, the sickness vanished. The rhythm was back, the bounce, the aura. And then came Kobe. Flying down the court, he caught a pass, twisted midair, and threw down a reverse slam. Oohs and ahs filled the garden. The crowd realized this kid wasn't here to bow down. He was here to compete. Scene 3. The Apprentice speaks. Kobe had spent his entire childhood watching Michael Jordan on VHS tapes. He studied every move, the footwork, the fakes, the fadeaway, even the swagger. Now, standing on the same floor, he didn't want an autograph. He wanted a duel. Every time Jordan got the ball, Kobe locked in. Every time Kobe touched it, Jordan did too. There was no trash talk, no taunting, just 2 competitors separated by 16 years, silently acknowledging each other's presence. Kobe attacked with fearlessness, spinning, slashing, finishing with the left hand, and even when he missed, he didn't look shaken. He looked like a student hungry for knowledge. Magic Johnson, watching courtside, said later, "I've never seen a young player that confident, that fearless. Not at 19, not even me." Kobe wanted to prove something, not to the world, but to Jordan himself, that he belonged in the same conversation. Scene 4. The Calm King responds. Jordan saw what was happening. The kid was coming for him, and he smiled. Because that's exactly what he would have done at 19. But there was a difference. Kobe had energy. Jordan had control. MJ didn't rush. He didn't force shots. He dissected, studied, waited. When Garnett switched on him, fadeaway jumper. When Kobe reached, pivot, spin, bank shot. When the defense hesitated, he rose up, hit another mid-range. Effortless, cold, beautiful. It was the difference between talent and mastery. Kobe played like fire, Jordan like water. Scene 5, the all-star vibe. The rest of the players seemed to understand the moment. Every time Kobe or Jordan got the ball, the floor cleared out. Even superstars like Shaq, Malone, and Duncan just watched. It wasn't East versus West anymore. It was Jordan versus Bryant, old guard versus new blood. Jordan went to work, posting up smaller defenders, hitting that baseline jumper that looked like muscle memory. Kobe came right back, dancing with the ball, pulling up from deep, fearless, almost reckless. And yet, every exchange felt electric, like a passing of the torch that neither player wanted to pass or receive. By halftime, Kobe had shown the flash, dunks, drives, and highlight moves. Jordan had shown the substance, efficiency, rhythm, and command. And the scoreboard, it didn't matter. The story was the game. Scene 6, the mid-game interviews. Halftime arrived, and cameras caught both men smiling. Michael, cool as ever, told reporters, "It's not a showdown. We're all just here to entertain. But I'll defend myself if I have to." Kobe, on the other hand, was all energy. "I'm just having fun. What better way to learn than to go at the best?" The tone was mutual respect, but make no mistake, both wanted to win the moment. Magic Johnson later said, "Kobe wasn't scared. That's what shocked everyone. He came for the crown, not the handshake." Scene 7, the duel intensifies. The second half began, and the Garden crowd felt something brewing. Every time Kobe touched the ball, fans rose. Every time Jordan made a move, they roared. Kobe spun past defenders, tossed in reverse layups, and drained long threes. He was creativity in motion, unpredictable, daring, alive. But Jordan was precision, pump fake, step through, glass, fade away, nothing but net, crossover, pull up, splash, no wasted movement, no need for flair, just mastery. The crowd started to feel the difference. Kobe was playing to impress. Jordan was playing to remind. Scene 8. The lesson. At one point, Jordan intercepted a pass, ran the floor, and finished strong. Moments later, Kobe tried to answer with a spin move layup. Blocked. MJ didn't say a word. He just jogged back, expressionless. Message delivered. Kobe looked at him, not with frustration, but with admiration, because he understood. Jordan wasn't trying to humiliate him. He was teaching him. This was how greatness worked. The best players didn't tell you how to be great. They showed you. And in that game, Jordan gave Kobe a masterclass on control, timing, and purpose. Scene 9. The triple-double. While the cameras obsessed over their duel, Jordan was quietly making history. By the time the fourth quarter hit, he had nearly 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. He was on pace for something no player had ever done in an all-star game, a triple-double. He got it, and with it, he claimed the MVP. Not with thunderous dunks or viral moments, but with mastery, the kind that made everyone else on the court look like they were still learning. Meanwhile, Kobe had 18 points, a few highlights that would live forever, and something even more valuable, Jordan's attention. When the game ended, Jordan hugged Kobe and whispered something that cameras couldn't catch. But years later, Kobe revealed it. He said, "You can have the league soon, but not yet." Scene 10. Legacy in motion. The duel wasn't a rivalry, it was a rite of passage. Jordan wasn't defending his throne out of insecurity. He was preserving the standard, and Kobe, even in defeat, became the chosen successor. That night, something shifted in him. He saw what true greatness looked like up close, not in posters, not in tapes, but right in front of him. After that game, Kobe doubled down. He trained harder, studied deeper, and became more obsessed than ever. He wanted to master the details, the footwork, the fadeaway, the mindset. And over the next decade, he did. When Jordan retired for good, Kobe didn't just carry the torch, he expanded it. Scene 11. The circle of greatness. Years later, when Kobe was the veteran and young stars like LeBron and Durant were rising, he found himself in Jordan's old position, the teacher, the standard, the example. And just like MJ, Kobe never told them what to do, he showed them. That 1998 All-Star game became a generational bridge. Jordan's calm dominance met Kobe's youthful hunger, and together, they forged the path that defined modern basketball. Jordan showed the world that greatness isn't about flash, it's about consistency. Kobe showed that greatness can be learned, if you're willing to study, suffer, and never stop competing. Scene 12. Reflections from the legends. After the game, reporters asked Magic Johnson if he'd ever seen a young player like Kobe. Magic shook his head. Never. He's 19, but he plays like he's been here for years. And the things he tries, most players never even dream of. Bill Walton called it the perfect all-star game. A generational moment captured in 48 minutes. Isaiah Thomas added, "Kobe came at Mike the same way Mike once came at us." That's how you know he's cut from the same cloth. And Jordan, smiling through the post-game crowd, held his MVP trophy and said, "I'll give this to Kobe. if he promises to come back again. He said it jokingly, but there was truth behind it. Because Jordan knew, the league was in good hands. Scene 13. Beyond the game. The duel didn't end at the buzzer. It lived on for years, through interviews, documentaries, and memories. Kobe would later say that moment shaped him more than any other. That was the game I realized how much further I had to go. It humbled me. And yet, Jordan admired Kobe's spirit. He once told Ahmad Rashad, "That kid's gonna be something. He reminds me of myself." Their relationship became one of mentorship. Late-night phone calls, advice about leadership, mindset, and discipline. Jordan would later call Kobe his little brother. But on that night in Madison Square Garden, they weren't brothers yet. They were warriors, and Jordan had to show him the hierarchy first. Scene 14. The meaning of the duel. Every sport has its symbolic handoff moments. Ali and Tyson, Federer and Nadal, Brady and Mahomes. But few were as cinematic as Jordan versus Bryant, 1998. It wasn't scripted, it wasn't staged. It was organic, pure competition in its highest form. Jordan knew the end of his road was near. Kobe knew his was just beginning. And in that tension, we saw the essence of basketball: respect, skill, legacy. Jordan didn't destroy Kobe that night. He defined him. He gave Kobe the template, the blueprint for obsession, excellence, and greatness. And years later, when Kobe won his 5th championship, he said in an interview, "Everything I learned from watching him." Scene 15. The final fadeaway. As the clock ticked down, Jordan dribbled, spun, and hit one last fadeaway jumper, the move that had defined his career. The crowd stood in unison. No one cared about the score anymore. They were watching art. Jordan walked off smiling, towel over his shoulder, MVP trophy in hand. Kobe followed him, still buzzing with adrenaline. When they shook hands, you could feel it. The connection, the respect, the fire that would drive Kobe for the next 2 decades. In that handshake lived basketball's soul, the past, the present, and the future, all in one frame. Scene 16. Epilogue. Years later, when Kobe passed away, Jordan broke down on stage at the memorial, tears in his eyes, voice trembling. When Kobe died, a part of me died too. It wasn't just grief. It was the loss of the one player who truly understood his fire, the only one who had studied his soul, not just his moves. That 1998 All-Star game wasn't the start of a rivalry. It was the start of a brotherhood. Jordan taught, Kobe learned, and in learning, he became the only man who ever carried Jordan's flame the same way Jordan once carried the game itself. Scene 17. The legacy lives on today. When fans argue about greatness, stats, or rings, they miss the real story. Greatness isn't just numbers, it's moments like this, when one legend silently tells another, "You're next," but not yet. And the world witnesses the transition, not through words, but through the game itself. That's what Madison Square Garden saw that night. Not an all-star game, a coronation in slow motion, Jordan's last stand, Kobe's first statement.